Hey everyone, welcome to the Hoodni's Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your host, Keem. This is episode 5, NFC East. I have with me MFB
What's up?
and BBTV.
aka Bench 550, aka Himothy, aka him, aka doing what he does what he do. You know what I'm
Alright, man, for sure. Uh, so, like I said, this episode is NFC East. We're going to go through each team, kind of break down what happened in the offseason, any updates through training camp. So, if anything that has come up in the last few weeks, we'll bring it up. We're going to go ahead and get started with the Giants. MFB, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
Yes, sir. Everybody already knows this. It was hype pre-draft. It was hype during the draft. It was hype after the draft. It was hype on HBO. If you watched in-season Hard Knocks, the Giants drafted Malik Neighbors, right? Which will probably be the majority of this segment for the Giants, right? But
Yep.
he's a dog. He's a beast, right? Out of the trio rookie receivers that got took in the first round. Um, he's not the biggest, but he probably the fastest. Um, Definitely, I wouldn't have been surprised if he got took before Marvin Harrison because I kind of have them as 1A, 1B personally, like talent-wise, right? Situation-wise, you know, how he does at New York, well, that'll be dependent on Daniel Jones, who I don't got faith in. I don't know where he got the nickname Danny Dimes from,
saying?
but
Hmm.
but but seriously though, on like
Yep.
if you look at the depth chart, right, like there's no like target competition, for, you know, for Neighbors, right, like at all, right? He should
Right.
be seeing everything going his way through the air.
You know,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the New York Giants. It's just basically Malik Neighbors. Even the tight end, they got rid of Waller, and so it's just Daniel Bellinger, who isn't too bad, but I probably will end up on the waivers.
mhm.
Um, but yeah, I think I, you don't really look at anyone besides Neighbors, and then of course they signed Devin Singletary at RB. So he's currently being drafted in I think it's in the later rounds. Let me see where he's at. There he
Thinking about
is.
Jalen Hyatt too.
The
They got Jalen Hyatt, yeah,
Yeah,
but
Jalen.
on the
right,
depth chart he's not starting, but he's like their deep threat with speed.
Mm,
right.
Very talented receiver. I like him a lot.
100%.
Yeah, the three starting receivers according to the depth chart are Malik Neighbors, Wandale Robinson, and Darius Slayton.
Oh, Slayton. I totally
Yep.
forgot
So
about that
what's
one.
Neighbors ADP right now? If you could pull it up, or his
Neighbors,
wide
yeah.
receiver rank, or who's
His
around him.
ADP is currently he's ranked for Fantasy Pros as the wide receiver 24. His
Okay.
ADP in Yahoo is 62, so right after the fifth round, like beginning
Yep.
of the sixth round.
Yep. Okay.
And his ADP on Sleeper is 39. So he's being drafted like third round, or that would be in a 12
Yeah.
man, it'd be the fourth round. So
Fourth
beginning of the fourth round
I
versus
think so. Yahoo, you said fifth round, around fifth round.
beginning of the sixth round for
Six. I
Yahoo
think at
leagues.
that ADP, that's a steal, bro. Like I'm
Yeah.
smashing that draft button all day
Mhm.
at
Yep.
that round, right? Maybe even fifth round.
Yeah.
Just because the talent is so sheer, right?
And not only that, it's he's not competing for targets. You know, they brought him in to be able to, stand out as in their wide receiver core, cuz I mean like Darius Slayton is okay. He's not doing anything special though. And then they also have Wandale Robinson. He's not doing anything special either. So they clearly brought
Yeah,
in Neighbors
I
to
would definitely say his target share, like floor, is probably 20%, and that's the floor we're
right.
talking about, right?
Yeah.
It's just more
Yeah.
so a matter of, and we had kind of this good discussion on the last episode. Um, for those of you who didn't listen, go back and listen to it near the end of that episode, where we had, the similar situation, JJ and Sam Darnold.
Hmm.
We got Neighbors and Jones. You know, he's the only guy there. Crazy
Yep.
talent, QB.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. Because if you
Yeah.
watch Hard Knocks, bro, not to spoil Hard Knocks, I mean, it's kind of not really a spoiler because it already
Right.
happened, even
Right.
when they aired it. But bro, these guys were trying to draft like a QB.
Yeah,
They
that's
were
right.
trying to trade up to get a QB
Yeah,
while
yeah.
they had Daniel Jones. That shows you like, hey, this dude kind of sucks.
He's not.
You
Yeah,
know?
he's not it.
So
Yeah.
like,
I mean,
uh,
yeah, the value you're getting for picking up Neighbors in. I mean, if you're getting him at the beginning of the 6th round, is crazy. You know what I mean? But especially for a situation that he's in, where he's basically getting, like you said, very high floor of about 20%, and yeah, he's not really competing with a lot for targets versus like Jay Jettis, who's got Sam Darnold throwing him the ball. So I mean, Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold. Daniel Jones is better, but yeah, I mean, Neighbors is a rookie versus Jay Jettis. I mean, it's like,
exactly, yeah, he's not proven yet.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could look at it as if you're getting Justin Jefferson, kind of getting like Justin Jefferson type value in a later round, much later round. So
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Bro. You picking up what I'm putting down, cuz.
yes, sir.
Yeah, but what you call it? I don't know. But I think you said that Marvin Harrison and Malik Neighbors are 1A, 1B. I really don't know if I like agree with it. Like, why would you say 1A, 1B for those two?
Just because, like, if you look at like college, like just going off the college career,
Uh-huh.
like they both had like insane, like arcade style numbers,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Both amazing hands,
Of course.
both could run.
I mean, there's a
routes.
reason that Marvin
Right.
Harrison got drafted before Neighbors, right?
Of course,
Yeah.
right? But I think, like, I don't know what the Cardinals' office was like thinking about, right?
Right.
But you know, even I think in the Hard Knocks show they said, yeah, like we probably would take Neighbors over Marvin Harrison. There was some actual NFL teams that were stating that
Yeah.
that they had them higher. So that has to be for a
Yeah.
reason, right? These guys have like 5-6 scouts per
Yeah.
team, you know.
Yeah, but
There's-
I don't know. Just because I have Kyler Murray really high. You know, like it's like what you said, like Kyler Murray, Daniel Jones. Kyler Murray's all the way up here. I'm kind of taking.
No, of course, fantasy wise, Marvin Harrison
Fantasy.
all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying 1A, 1B like an actual like
Yes.
like on
Yeah.
their team.
Yep.
Gotcha. Cool. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, in terms of a wide receiver, purely as a wide receiver.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, ranking. Like if you're ranking wide receiver rookies, I got
Now moving on to the, I guess the only other fantasy asset possibly on the team, Devin Singletary, right?
Mhm.
Right.
What is his ADP at right now? What's his ranking looking like?
He's being drafted currently. He's ranked as the RB29. He's being drafted at the beginning of the 9th round. So he's being drafted as number 97 on Yahoo and 98 on Sleeper.
So give me some names around him. Who's
So-
around him? And let's start. You know, like we'll have BBTB go first on. You know, would
So-
you rather.
A couple of RBs being drafted before him. Tony Pollard, his RB26. Would you take Tony Pollard or Devin Singletary?
Devin Singletary.
MB?
Probably taking Tony Pollard.
Mm.
Okay. And then we have Zach Moss versus Singletary.
Singletary by a mile.
Over Zach Moss, like
I'll
a
probably
mile. A
take
mile
Zach
is a
Moss.
lot.
I'll
I
take
might
Zach
take
Moss.
Zach Moss there.
No, they
Yeah.
have what's his name that's taking over right now. I think it's Browning.
Chase Brown.
Chase Browning.
Or
Yeah.
Brown. Yeah. That guy. He's going to be the RB1. I'm not taking potential, like you know what I mean, like RB1, RB2 kind of. When you have a
So
Devin
basically, you want the guy with the guaranteed volume. That's what you-
easily 100%.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's understandable for sure.
Because that
Yeah.
offense has a chance of moving the ball down
Let-
the field.
Let's do one more. Jalen
Yeah.
Warren or Devin Singletary.
Devin Singletary.
Probably Devin, just because of the hammy issue.
The hamstring. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's do one more. Actually, Javonte Williams is ranked as the RB30. Javonte Williams or Devin Singletary?
Man,
I'm still
that's
going.
a good question, right?
I'm still
there.
going.
You're talking to MFB as a Broncos fan, so that's why he's struggling right now. You're still going
Yeah.
Singletary, BBTV?
Does Singletary is he pass catching like that?
I don't
Yeah,
think so. He's more of a bell cow, no?
It's not about his pass catching. It's just he's very versatile. Like you could throw him in the
Okay.
screen and like he's
Yeah.
really really well with that. I mean he
Yeah.
did it with Houston last year.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was
You know?
doing
Because depending on the format, I might go one way or the other.
Yeah.
right.
That's like my thinking.
I mean, Javonte Williams is now 2 years removed from that injury, so I think we
He
could see
is. Yeah. I
resurgence
mean, he
from
wasn't.
him.
He didn't have an amazing bounce back,
No,
right?
definitely not. Yeah, but 2 years
Um,
removed might see it. Anyways,
maybe.
we can move on from Singletary and the Giants. Anything else from the Giants, MFB?
No, that's all.
Okay.
Hmm.
Um, BBTV, why don't you go ahead and get us started off on the Eagles? Talk to us. What do you got?
Philadelphia Eagles. So nothing new. Those are going to be your NFC East winners by a mile, probably by 3 or 4 games from the Cowboys. Not same as the past few years.
Right.
Want to start off Jalen Hurts, #1 quarterback in the NFC. That man's playing lights out. Upgraded his running back. His running back Saquon the Beast Barkley. That man's gonna do some damage, man. That's literally all what the
Hmm.
Eagles needed um, in their past couple seasons. Like literally, Don't get me wrong, Swift was cool, but you have Saquon Barkley. Like honestly, very identical to McCaffrey, very identical. So, I them
Yeah,
having Barkley is puts them very high,
it's a tremendous
um,
upgrade for sure.
easily. And then they finally have a healthy receiving core. Um, I think Goddard was dealing with a really bad injury. I think either Devonta Smith or AJ Brown was dealing with I think it was an ankle injury or hamstring, something along those lines. Um, but everyone looks healthy. Everyone pretty much looks good. The only downside I would probably say is the downgraded center. Last year they had Jason Kelsey
Right.
retired. Now they have like a new guy that's been behind Kelsey for a couple years now. Um,
Right.
yeah, and then the new offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore from the Chargers. Shouts out MFB for telling me that one. What you got? They fired Brian Johnson after 1 season, but them bringing in Kellen Moore. MFB, what was the stats, Kellen Moore, with like the passing and rushing with that?
Yeah. So the Chargers basically used motion at the snap
Hmm.
on a quarter of their plays, so 25% of their plays,
Yeah,
right? But the only relevance of why we even bring that up is because the Eagles were dead last in doing motion at the snap
yeah,
Mm.
amongst the whole league. They did it like 10% of plays.
yeah,
Right.
Um,
So I think that
no,
could be a significant boost in their offense, in their numbers and their play calling and things like that, right?
yeah.
it could,
Right.
yeah,
Um,
depending on what they scheme up with it,
Right.
right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it'll all play out. I mean, all these guys are good. I mean, Jalen Hurts, he's a beast. You're taking him, third round, even second round. Some people, if they're,
yeah,
up for it. AJ Brown, he's, AJ Brown, nothing new there. Devonta Smith, also a beast.
yeah,
Goddard, and then like you mentioned, Saquon Barkley. Yeah, basically every starting player on this offense
yeah.
is worth starting in fantasy, and they're all being drafted pretty early on in terms of either format. Let's throw some question marks. How do you guys rank Hurts in QBs? So you have. Let's just start off with the basics. You got Mahomes, obviously,
Hmm.
and then you have Jalen Hurts. You have
I'm probably going
um,
Josh Allen over Jalen Hurts.
Josh
Josh
Allen.
Allen, number one, and then Lamar
Right now,
Jackson.
I think drafts are. I don't know if you have the rankings up, but I'm pretty sure it's something along the lines of Allen, Hurts, and then Mahomes,
Mahomes,
Lamar
Lamar.
Jackson.
So
Yeah, so something in that order.
yeah, I'm seeing and this is from Fantasy Pros rankings. Josh Allen is ahead. He's being drafted, middle of the or late second round. Third round, at the end of the third round, you have, or middle to end, you have Mahomes actually ranked ahead of Jalen Hurts.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Um, and then after that, you have somewhere in the third round or in the fourth round, Lamar Jackson. So
Well, I mean, if you're in the third round and you have a chance to get Jalen Hurts with your third pick, you should take Jalen Hurts.
would now let me ask this: would you take Jalen Hurts early in the third round? Let's say it's third round, your third pick, right? It's
Right.
coming to you. It just got to the end. The player at the end takes Mahomes. Do you take Jalen Hurts?
With my third pick, 100%.
Really?
Yeah, just because of the that offense is going to be really, really, really
I,
good. Just
yeah,
I don't see them losing more than 3 or 4 games.
I just yeah, I think with guaranteed production like that, you can't really go wrong.
Mm. Like
Especially
it's
in the
like
third
minimum
round.
20 points and maximum's like 30. You know what I mean? You get out of quarterback, like
So another thing with Jalen Hurts, do you ever get worried? Like last year, they were blowing teams out. By halftime, Jalen Hurts would have about 25, 24 fantasy points, and he'd finish the game with like 28 because they were just dominating. Excuse me, they were dominating so hard that they didn't need him out there. They didn't need him doing much. They would just hand the ball off, and then he wouldn't get a lot of points. Are you worried about that at all?
no. I mean, I can't be upset if he's giving me 25 in a game.
It's a little bit of a letdown when you've got 25 fantasy points to half from your QB and your projection, you're killing it, you're winning by like, you're going to win the week by like 80% or whatever, and then, as the game goes on, it slowly gets less and less and less, like, and he's, only giving you 26 or 28 fantasy points, right? Is that, as annoying as that is it going to bother you? Does it sway your decision making, or are you still just smashing Jalen Hurts in the third round? No homo.
It doesn't bother me at all. I'm taking Jalen Hurts regardless. I'd still be happy with 25. Those extra getting to 30, 35, maybe even 40 would be cherry on top. But if I get a quarterback minimum 25, can't beat that.
MFB?
I get the philosophy and I agree. Like they'll be winning plenty of games. I'm not necessarily 100% just like gonna take them third round. Like I don't really have that mindset during a draft.
Yeah.
It just depends who's there, right?
Right.
Because if there's like
Yeah.
I don't know an RB there or a sick receiver there, that you're not getting that caliber later. Like I can get another QB with some rushing upside
Yeah.
later, right?
I
Maybe they
think
won't get me a 25 floor, but they might give
yeah.
me like a 21, 18, 19 points floor,
Yeah.
right?
I think what it comes down to is if it's third round, you're in the draft, you're on the clock, he's still on the board. You don't know who to take. You're staring at Brandon Ayuk, right? Michael Pittman, Rashad White, Jalen Waddle. You're looking at all those names and you're scratching your head. Ah, man, which of these guys is the best pick? I don't really know. You see Jalen Hurts, you know exactly what you're getting. The production that you're going to get out of him is guaranteed, right?
It's what we call a feel good pick, pretty much. You're
Yeah,
gonna feel
no,
good about it,
Yeah.
I mean,
you know.
people might look at you and be like, "Oh my god, a quarterback this early." They'll laugh at you, but you can't go wrong. I don't see anything wrong with that pick, especially in the third round. I kind of agree with BBTB, especially if you're just not sure, you're confused,
But
you don't know who to take.
honestly, with those guys that you just mentioned too, like I'm
Yeah,
still taking Jalen Hurts over those 5 dudes that you
yeah.
mentioned.
No, I mean honestly,
No.
those are all ranked. I mean, in the same area: Nico Collins, Mike Evans, Sam
Yeah,
Laporta.
easily Jalen Hurts. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
mean, some people might want to grab Sam Laporta. They just want their tight end position filled, and they don't want to worry about it. But yeah, no, I'm not mad at that strategy, and I kind of agree with it. AJ Brown, you're taking him in the first round. If he falls to you in the second round, you're swooping on him easily. You're gonna be very
easily.
happy with that. Um,
Barkley, same thing.
Saquon Barkley, yeah. I mean, you're talking about high caliber players. They're actually ranked right after each other. AJ Brown's ranked 10, Saquon Barkley's ranked 11. They're right next to each other in the draft. You get either of those guys, you're going to
Yeah.
be happy with your team, or at
Mhm.
least with that player in that position. Devonta Smith is going actually. I think he's in the fourth round. I can't. Let me double check.
Are you sure he's in the fourth?
Let me check. Devon
He's a little
Smith.
higher.
He is. No, he's at the end of the fourth round. He's ranked 46. He's wide receiver 23. And he's being drafted at uh, position in Yahoo or in Sleeper. He's being drafted kind of where he's ranked as wide receiver 23.
Mhm.
Yeah.
In Yahoo, he's being drafted a little bit later into the fifth round.
I think
Yes.
So about,
if he stays healthy this year,
yeah.
I have Devonta in my like top 15. I have him at 15 in
Wow.
my wide receiver rankings. Yeah,
Okay.
I
15.
know. I have.
Yeah.
This is another one of my slammy spreadsheet sleeper predictions. Plug it in,
Listen,
Devonta
listen
Smith
in.
this year.
Okay.
Yep. Hey, you
Top
guys heard it here
15.
first.
Oh,
Don't
do
sleep
that.
on Devonta Smith. Let's throw some names out there. and see what you guys think, because there's players around him that also sound attractive. Let me know what you guys think. Being drafted ahead of him, DJ Moore, Stephon Diggs, and who else? Jalen Waddle. Of those four, if you take Jalen Waddle, DK Metcalf, Stephon Diggs, Devonta Smith, who do you take first?
I'm taking all three of those dudes over Devonta. I'm sorry.
That's
Okay.
crazy because I'm taking Devonta over all three of them dudes.
Okay. You
That's
have
crazy.
Devonta pretty high. Do you take Devonta Smith or Michael Pittman?
Devonta Smith.
Cooper Kupp, who's ranked as the wide receiver 17.
Yeah, over Cup. Yeah,
You take him over
Cup?
Kupp?
yeah.
Over Cup is crazy.
Over Cup.
Over Cup is crazy. No,
You take him or Mike Evans, who's ranked as wide receiver 15?
Mike Evans.
All
I'll
right.
take Mike Evans.
That's
That's the
where we draw the
only
line.
controversy
That's-
that I have. I'm low-key taking Devonta Smith.
Over
I'm
Mike
not-
Evans?
Yeah, I'm not high on Mike Evans this year.
We can discuss that in a later episode. But,
Yeah.
but that's
Yeah,
that's
but-
kind of you might be
Okay.
high right now. You might be high. I think I'm gonna have to start agreeing with MLB on this one. No, you're.
Look
you,
at him. He's off the juice. He's drinking
it's
juice.
just-
I'm
there it
gonna
is.
juice.
Now we know. Crazy. One that's being drafted. I mean, there's other players that are being drafted later than him. We're not going to get into that. But yeah, so Devonta Smith. I mean, MFB is really high on Devonta Smith. I think that if you take him, it's a bit of a gamble. So this is where I've talked about this before, maybe off stream, but I'll talk about it right now, just really quick. If you take a gamble on one of these players, you take Devonta Smith ahead of Cooper Kupp, ahead of Jalen Waddle, ahead of DK Metcalf, DJ Moore, even Brandon Ayuk. I mean, Brandon Ayuk with the contract situation or with that whole thing that happened this summer, yeah, it's a little bit interesting. But if you take Devonta Smith ahead of all these guys, people might look at you funny, might tell you, "Oh, what are you doing? What's wrong with you? You're silly." And if it doesn't pan out for you,
Let's dive into this a bit, right? Because
Okay.
especially with the Cooper Cup situation. Right?
Sure.
We have two wide receiver twos on the team, right? Jalen Hurts is much better than Matt Stafford. I don't think
Okay.
anybody's going to argue that, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
So what
Is he-
necessarily
is his
is
arm
crazier?
It's his
Sure,
arm
but
better.
What necessarily is crazier?
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
So Devonta Smith gets a lot of the long catches, which I mean, all it takes, honestly though, I'll be honest, if all it takes is one long bomb, and he's basically made enough fantasy production for your day. Like, he doesn't even need to score the touchdown. If he gets a 40-yard bomb or a 60-yard bomb, that's 4 or 6 points plus the catch. If we're talking half PPR here, you're getting about 6.5 points off of one catch, or 4.5 points off one catch, which is huge. All you need is just one of those or two of those a game, and you're basically you're okay with what he's giving you. So
Right.
I can see where his value is, but I just think that I don't know if I trust Jalen Hurts as a thrower.
Exactly.
And if he proves himself this
Okay.
year, that might change. But
Because I have Matthew
I
Stafford.
suppose, but AJ Brown going first round, and it's the same dude throwing though.
I know,
Right.
but AJ
true,
Brown,
but AJ
let's
Brown.
make the logic connect here, my boys.
but AJ
It-
Brown is bigger. He's
you have to-
faster. He can take a hit. Better hands. There's a reason
The
why
thing is,
Brown's going
AJ
first.
Brown is more of a seasoned player, and he complained last season. He said, "I want the ball in my hands." And what happened? We saw a huge production come to his way. He was like, "I want more of the ball. Give me the ball. Make it happen." So he can do that, and if he wants to command the ball, he'll say, "Give it to me. I want the ball."
Easy.
And like, that's it. You can't. You have your star wide receiver that you brought in to get you to the Super Bowl complaining. You're gonna give him what he wants. You're not gonna take the risk of making him
I
unhappy.
suppose.
So that's kind of how you weigh it out. You are big on Devonta Smith. I do see it above Cooper Kupp. We can whoever's listening, you can make your own decision off of what we've talked about.
You know, man, I'll
That's-
just make the decision for them, man. Pick Cooper Kupp. Be smart. Pick Cooper Kupp.
If you want to be safe, yes, take Cooper Kupp. If you want to be a little ballsy, you can try Devonta Smith, and it might pay out. Who knows? Spreadsheet Slammy sometimes has some hitters, so just know. Goddard is being drafted. If I look it up, he is going in he's ranked number 107 as the tight end 12, drafted at the end of the ninth round in all formats, pretty much.
Interesting.
That's a
Yeah.
I
solid.
feel like that's the lowest I've ever seen Dallas Goddard being drafted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's low.
But
And
I
he was
also
injured
agree
last
with
season,
that.
so
I also agree with that. I think that's the correct value
really, as tight end
to have
12.
him at. Yeah, because think
Okay.
about it, bro. Other times where he was going like in the top 5 tight end,
He
top
was,
6
yeah,
tight
top
end,
6, yeah,
never
top 6,
finished
top
like
7.
that. Never did, right? So why should he
Yeah,
be drafted like one,
right.
right?
Just so we don't spend too much time on the Eagles, let's just give some other names. Tight end 11 is Brock Bowers. You taking Brock Bowers? You taking Dallas Goddard? With Gardner Minshew throwing the ball. They
Ooh.
just drafted Brock Bowers, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So who do you take?
That's a tough one.
That's tough. I'll
That's
probably
tough.
go Brock.
Yeah, me
Why
too.
not?
Okay. Okay. Let's see the tight end. Well, if we look at the tight end, no one's taking the tight end 13, T.J. Hawkinson. Tight end 14 is, I don't even know where the tight end 14 is. It's Dalton Schultz. Are you taking Dalton Schultz or Dallas Goddard? So yeah,
Probably Dallas Goddard.
Yeah.
okay. So it sounds like he's being taken right where he should be, right after Brock Bowers and right before Dalton Schultz and T.J. Hawkinson.
Yep.
Okay, we can leave him there. He belongs. He is where he belongs. Moving on to Washington football team. I'll go ahead and start this off. So they brought in the QB Jaden Daniels, the rookie, and Marcus Mariota's backing him up. So that's going to be, if he gets hurt, that team just goes straight to 0. They did get rid of Curtis Samuel, so that team now is Terry McLaurin, John Dotson, De'Ami Brown. They signed Austin Eckler, so Brian Robinson is still listed as the starter, and Eckler's the number 2 right behind him. And I think this was MFB's sleeper, Zach Ertz at tight end. I think you mentioned this as your sleeper pick. So
I did. Yes.
yeah. And they have a new coaching staff. So the coach now is Dan Quinn, and the offensive coordinator is Cliff Kingsbury, who sucks. Just coming from a Cardinals fan. So let's talk about Jaden Daniels. How do you guys feel about him?
Love him. He's gonna be great.
Love him.
Love
That's you might have to.
He's gonna be great.
Okay.
No
That's-
diddy. But
All right.
but no,
All right,
I really
and-
think he's gonna improve along during the season. He's got the
MFB.
legs for it. He can throw the ball really well. He's got the offense for it.
All right. He's got decent weapons. Zach Ertz is not a bad tight end, and obviously, Terry McLaurin is a good wide receiver. I mean, he did great things. It's been a couple years, but he's shown us what he can do.
Yeah.
I was big
thinking-
on John Dotson, but yeah, he's also got him. Go
Yeah, he
ahead.
was a bust. Anyways, I'm thinking, if they could scheme the offense to have plenty of shotgun looks and
Yeah.
run pass options,
Uh-huh.
that'll help maximize Jaden Daniels' talent.
Easily.
Right.
Okay.
I am maybe high is not the right word because he's already if you look at the QB rankings,
He's
Kimo,
listed as the QB 12.
12.
Yes.
Okay, I could have sworn Yahoo he was
He's being
8 or 9.
His
maybe,
position,
but-
his rank is technically 98th overall. He's being
Yeah.
drafted later in the draft. He's actually being drafted a couple positions after his rank. Well, in Yahoo, he's being
'Cause
drafted at
in some
101.
mocks as of recent, I've seen him go 7th round.
Okay, so
Right.
so let's
which I feel like it's kind of it's a lot of hype for sure, but
yeah.
I feel like it's priced nicely for him, right?
Really?
So I wouldn't reach
Okay.
for him, but I wouldn't be mad with him. 7th round, I'll grab him.
So you're telling me, would you take? I mean, he's going at technically the beginning of the 9th round. So let me ask you this: in the 7th round, you would take. Technically, the 7th round is where Jordan Love and Dak Prescott are going QB9, QB10. That's actually the end of the 6th. So the 7th round, not a lot of QBs are being taken there. The QB between Dak Prescott and Jaden Daniels is Brock Purdy. Do you take Brock Purdy or Jaden Daniels?
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels.
I take Jaden Daniels too. I just think that Brock Purdy has a solid floor, but he doesn't have a big ceiling.
Mhm.
And so
Facts.
to me, I just think that you might as well wait and let uh, Brock Purdy go and just take a shot at Daniels, in my opinion. Daniels or Tua? Tua's the QB 13.
Daniels.
Really?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know about that one. If
Over
Tua's
Tua?
there,
I might take Tua. I might
Bro,
let him slip.
my name of the QB game, especially, I guess more so like for late flyer QBs, rushing upside, bro.
True.
That's true.
If they ain't rushing, bro, like what am I going to hella draft him for later?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
you know,
yeah, that makes sense.
He could be
Uh,
like the Anthony Richardson before the
he
injury.
could,
You know what I'm
he
saying?
could. But let's
I mean,
get to
this.
some more names, Kim. I'm
Y-
sorry.
Yeah, I mean, one more thing. I mean, with you know what you're getting with Tua, you don't know what you're getting with Jaden Daniels. If
You
you're willing
don't.
to take that shot,
Yeah,
go for it. I mean, it
you
could pay
don't.
off. It could not.
It's like, for the most part, like pretty revamped offense,
Yeah.
right?
So easily.
Right. Yeah.
No doubt.
So we can let's move on to the wide receivers real quick. So Terry McLaurin, if you look him up, he's being drafted. I think in the. Hold on, let me do this. Uh,
Late teens?
He's going actually. Right now, he's being ranked as a wide receiver 30.
Wow.
Apparently, in Yahoo, McLaurin is being drafted at as wide receiver 30. Actually, in the beginning of the 7th round, and then the end of the 6th round in sleeper.
Yeah, that's honestly, if you get him in the 7th or 8th round, that is your league winner. You pick that homie up, that man will win you your league. At the wide receiver 2 spot, if one of your homies get hurt, or at the flex, that is your league winner for sure. Without a doubt.
So let's put some names out there: Zay Flowers or Terry McLaurin.
McLaurin.
No, hell no. I'm going
McLaurin.
Zay.
Easily.
Zay Flowers. I think I lean Zay Flowers. I'll be honest. He's being ranked as the wide receiver 28. You're talking about the number one wide receiver in Baltimore.
Yeah, but that's a run heavy offense.
It's not a wide margin, I'll give you that, but I
No.
still have
Heavy
Zay. I have
offense.
Zay like a couple ranks above Terry.
Okay, Tank Dell or Terry McLaurin.
Mm.
Tank Dell's a wide receiver 29.
I understand, but he's technically the third option on the Houston team.
Yes.
You got the number one option with Washington, built for plays.
Just for context, Tank Dell's being drafted at the beginning of round 6 right now in Yahoo, and in sleeper he's being drafted near the beginning of round 5.
I think in that, I'd rather go Tank Dell still, even if he's a third option.
I would take McLaurin over Tank Dell.
Same. I'd take McLaurin, but
Yeah.
not over wide margin, just because McLaurin is still the wide receiver 1, and he
Yeah.
should still get a lot of.
That's what we're hoping, right? So yeah. Okay. T. Higgins or Terry McLaurin?
This is where I go Terry.
I'm going Higgins.
I'm going Higgins. I mean, this
Going
is also
Higgins.
based. I'm influenced by the rankings, but I mean,
Yep.
yeah, that's either way. Christian Kirk, Terry McLaurin, last one.
McLaurin. Without a doubt. I think Kirk is actually dealing with an injury right now.
Okay. I did not
Kirk
know
just
that.
sustained an injury, so yeah, probably
Yeah,
Lauren.
Christian Kirk.
But
Okay.
even pre-injury,
Calf.
it's stupid close for me.
These two guys are ranked right next to each other. Terry McLaurin, Keenan Allen. Who do you take?
Ooh.
I'll say Terry.
That's
Caleb
that's
Williams.
a 50.
Yeah.
With me personally, I wouldn't get mad at either or. So if one's
Yeah.
on the board, I need a receiver. I'll take it,
Yeah.
but I'll not tripping on.
Yeah. Either or. Yeah.
Mm.
They're a flip. They're a coin toss, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think John Dotson was a bust last year. Don't draft him unless you want to be disappointed. Austin Eckler, he's playing behind Brian Robinson. Do you think he's going to eat into Brian Robinson's time or no?
Yes, I do. I think Eckler, not in the beginning of the season, but I think Eckler will slowly
inch his way into becoming the better back, getting more playing time. I wouldn't say he's going to be the RB1, but he'll get more playing time for sure. Um, I think just last year he was playing on a really bad ankle and he was like forcing it.
Hmm.
But I think he should be healthy now, and so I think Eckler over the season should be solid.
He's being drafted as the RB 32. He's actually being he's actually ranked above Brian Robinson, but Brian Robinson's being drafted ahead of him in Yahoo. He's being drafted behind Austin Eckler
They're low
in
key like
Sleeper.
right next to each other.
They're neck and neck, yeah. This is more of like a flex, or if you're doing zero RB, you might get one of these guys your RB 2 or RB 1.
Yeah, I'd probably, man, I'm kind of leaning B Rob. Just go with the younger dude.
I
You know what I'm
lean B
saying?
Rob.
But
I'll
I'm
be
down
honest.
to like put in some. I'm down to invest in
I th-
I
I
guess
think
backfield.
if you
If I
leave
need to at this round.
I think if you leave the later rounds and there's just been everyone's just been hogging RBs and you just need an RB, am not mad at Austin Eckler. I just don't think he's gonna give you the production
Yeah.
that he's ever given. Maybe the same production as last year because he was complete cheeks.
Mm.
So yeah, he, would you take Austin Eckler or Jonathan Brooks from Carolina?
Who?
It's a rookie.
He's a rookie who's like injured right now.
No clue, bro. Nah,
They're
I'm
ranked right next to each other.
taking Eckler, bro. You got Chuba Hubbard and then Sanders and then nah, bro. I'm taking Eckler.
Then Tajay Spears or Austin Eckler? Same sort of situation.
Probably
Two
Spears.
RBs.
The thing is
I'm
with
hitting
that
Spears.
though, I'm thinking about the RB 1 and 2 with Eckler, Robinson, and then Tajay and Pollard, very
Yeah.
identical. So I
That's
really
what I'm saying.
don't know, but I would go Eckler on that one. Go.
I think I like in that situation. I think I go with the younger talent of Tajay Spears, like just because. Yeah, man, that's actually a tough one. I might just go Eckler for the safety. I might go Eckler. How about MFV?
Between Eckler or Spears?
Yep.
Probably Spears.
Ooh.
Okay.
Probably going Spears.
Okay.
Just because we've seen the offense
Yeah.
more recently, you know. So
Right. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Zach Ertz is being drafted as a tight end 32, so sleeper pick, like MFB said.
slumber pick, ref.
Yeah.
Shit.
Mhm.
So look for him. If you just don't have a tight end late in the draft, he's there. Draft him before someone else does, because his average draft position might be sooner if someone else is paying attention and you're not. So look for him. He's good. He's got the ability. Let's move on to the Cowboys. MFB, can you talk through them for us?
Yes, sir. So biggest news so far, football news.
Mhm.
CD hasn't signed yet.
Hmm.
It's kind of scaring folks. I don't
Yeah.
think his ADP has fell that far, to be
No.
honest.
He's still at the top.
As far as other receiver news, right? Brandon Cooks got injured, so it's
Yeah.
CD, bro. Like,
Yeah.
ain't nobody else on the team. Jalen Tolbert, like, I mean, they got Jake Fergie.
Jake Ferguson,
You
yeah.
want a
Yeah.
shot? You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
Other Cowboys news. Old stars back. Zeke
Mhm.
Yep.
back into the Cowboys lineup.
Yeah.
Which I really would like to get your guys' input, because am I going to be buying a lot of Zeke? Probably not, bro. To be really real with y'all, I would low key buy more Rico Dowdle than Zeke.
No, I'm not. I'm not doing that. I think Zeke was going to have his revenge season, his revenge tour, and tear it up. I really think he'll be that guy. Towards,
Yeah. I don't know about all that.
No, but think about it. Kim, I think you had Zeke last year, or we were trying to go for Zeke together in the league, and he started killing it for the Patriots. He
So
started-
I don't know about a revenge. You said revenge season, like he's gonna come back just dominant.
Not
I
like-
think
not
he's
like,
gonna get a lot of the goal line work, and they will give it to him.
And that's all
And
you
so
need.
if you're, I mean, last season on the Patriots, he was getting, especially near later in the season, he was getting a lot of touches, a lot of touchdowns. So like,
Mhm.
and he's poaching them off of Ramondre, and so
Totally fine.
he's got the strength and the power to kind of put it into the backfield or into the end zone. I mean, that's what you want. You want someone who can get you touchdowns. At the end of the day, even if Rico Dowdle's getting more of the like touches in the game, and Zeke's getting all the red zone touches, I kind of lean towards the red zone touches, to be honest.
Yeah, but I'm probably still going with Zeke just because also that Cowboys defense is so like the number one by far. That
Right.
defense is going to cause turnovers, really fast 3-and-outs. The Cowboys offense is going to have the ball majority of the game.
Right.
So when the
They're gonna run
offense
the
is on the
clock
field,
out.
you got Zeke and you got CD. I think those are the top two guys for sure, and I'm high on Zeke this year. That's what I say.
I'm higher on Zeke than a lot of other people. He was, I think, one of my sleepers, if I recall correctly.
Yeah,
Um,
but you don't think he's gonna come with a revenge tour then? You're high on him?
I don't know about revenge, man. I just think he doesn't have the juice. So I just don't think he's got it in him. Like, as much as he might want to, he will score touchdowns. Yeah, I think for sure, and he's going to get goal line work. But I he's not going to come back and just be dominant. I don't see that at all.
With that
That's
O
just
line?
dominant. I'm saying dominant, and
Yeah,
he
but-
might. But I think they give Rico Dowdle. He's smaller. He can get weave through, and he's a lot faster than Zeke. So I think he's going to get the more of the big gain yards, but Zeke gets the goal line work for sure.
Mhm.
That's just my guess on him. Maybe you can continue.
I mean, that's pretty much it. If you know, I mean, I don't know what names are going around Zeke.
Tajay Spears is going right before him. Zeke or Austin Eckler?
Oh, Zeke. Zeke.
I take
I'm
Zeke.
going Eckler, bro.
I'm
But see,
t-
that's the thing. I'm more banking. This is general like fantasy for this year,
Yeah.
especially because we have so many ambiguous backfields that I'm willing to just roll the dice on an ambiguous backfield where we don't know if it's A or B
Yeah.
and hoping to land it, right? Because then I just made bang for my buck. I just got like two or three rounds of ADP.
So I mean, all this information that we give, it depends on your situation. I mean, obviously, you're in a draft. You have an RB1. You have an RB2. Yeah, you want to take a shot on Austin Eckler maybe taking over the backfield in Washington. Sure. You have an RB1. You're missing your RB2. You just didn't get a chance. You went and grabbed, Sam Laporta. You got Josh Allen. So you have your tight end. You have your QB. You didn't get RB2 earlier in the draft. You're looking for someone who you're probably going to get more work. That's where I think you take Zeke over Austin Eckler. That's just in my opinion.
Yeah. No, that's a fair point. Yeah, it depends how your
yeah.
draft goes. No,
So yeah, I mean, what we tell you guys in this podcast, the information we give you, you do what you want with it, but it doesn't have to be like you don't say, oh yeah, I like what he said, I'm doing what he said. When it comes draft time, you already have two RBs. You can take a shot on Austin Eckler and skip out on Zeke because a lot of people are down on Zeke. He's being drafted later than his position. I mean, not by much. He's being drafted a couple picks later, but yeah, he might just do nothing. He's been hasn't been that shiny of a pick lately. I want to get your idea, or I want to pick your guys' brain on Gus Edwards from the Chargers or Zeke. What do you take?
Oh, Zeke.
I take
thing
Zeke.
is,
I take Zeke.
that's an ambiguous backfield, but I don't like Gus Edwards.
I don't like
I'll probably
Gus
take
Edwards.
Zeke. I'll probably
Yeah.
take Zeke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
the reason why I'm saying Zeke is Zeke could also be a fire trade piece too. Like Zeke will either be your flex or your first bench spot. I think you take Zeke and he
Or your
will
RB2.
easily. That's why I
So
see
see,
it.
if you're talking about trade pieces, right? Imagine you take Eckler and he hits. He taken the Washington backfield.
Yeah.
Now imagine that trade piece.
Yeah, but
So
Right.
this is what goes back to if you already have your RBs and you just need a bench. This is a bench spot at this point, or a flex. Yeah, you can try and pick up Austin Eckler like I mentioned, but yeah, there's definitely there is a lot of upside if Eckler hits, right?
That's what I'm saying, bro. There's upside in the ambiguous backfields.
you're not wrong. But the thing is, though, that Cowboys are going to be making that playoff push. They're going to try to go for that division win. Washington, they're not going to be a wild card team.
No, I'm definitely a believer in drafting players on good offenses. You know?
100%.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, keep that in mind when you guys are drafting.
But hey, bro, with only CD at receiving, is it gonna be a good offense, bro? Like, I don't
oh,
know.
come on, it's gonna be a fire offense.
I
CD's gonna
think they
be
still
CD.
move the ball. I think they
CD's gonna
still
be
move the
CD.
ball.
Yeah.
So, so you take Zeke or Jerome Ford? Jerome Ford's being drafted later than
Bro,
Zeke, but
Zeke.
Zeke.
yeah, just wondering.
No way.
Yeah, that's homie asking dumb questions
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
what I'm
But
saying.
Jerome Ford's a starter in Cleveland.
Are you high, brother?
I just asked the questions, bro. Someone's gonna be thinking that in a draft. You never know.
Yeah.
I'm asking the questions because their rankings are not their yeah their rankings are close. I mean, there's three other RBs in between them, but you got Chase Brown, Gus
Mhm.
Edwards, and who's the other one? Trey Benson, Arizona. So
all right,
you,
let's switch it up real quick to close the episode. CD or Reek?
oh, I take Tyreek.
Shh,
Uh, man, you just said Brandon Cooks is injured, right?
Yep.
Dude, man. Uh,
I think it's still got to be Tyreek, even though I don't know. I just feel like it'd be a silly pick if you didn't pick Tyreek. Like I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I can.
if you
Tyreek's
left
there,
Tyreek
yeah, and he
and
should
you
popped
and you
off.
took CD,
I would, because Tyreek's the number one guy, number one in the NFL ranks top 100.
yeah.
Real guy.
Uh,
So I don't know.
honestly, staring me in the face, man.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
I'm gonna wait till draft day to decide that.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That's what a lot of people are facing or going to be facing.
All right.
All right, let me hit you with the CD or Jamar Chase.
CD. CD.
I want to say CD, but I am high on Jamar Chase this year. I really think he's gonna do great things. I think he could finish higher than CD at the end of the year,
True.
just because, like you said, the Cowboys' defense is so good that they might even be winning the Cowboys' games, right? So that means they don't need CD to catch the ball that often. And you have Zeke taking goal line touches. Now, not to say CD's not going to be great. He's going to be fantastic. I just think that if they're playing from ahead a lot of times, CD's not going to do much in those games. So, uh, man. I have to think about this one. I am high on Chase. I think the safe pick is CeeDee Lamb. I think if you want to take a risk, you go Jamar Chase. But
Yeah.
that's up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say just one thing. I just want to backtrack real quick on the Eagles. I totally forgot to say it, but the Eagles did use their first 3-round picks on defensive players. They got 2 cornerbacks and a really good edge rusher out of Houston. Just real quick,
Okay.
I think the Philadelphia Eagles defense is also going to be a great pick. I think that
Okay.
last year they weren't the best, but this year I think they'll be solid just because of their draft pick. Just
Yeah. I mean,
Safe pick.
that defense, the Cowboys defense, those are defenses you take.
mhm.
You can take those in the 10th, 11th rounds if you just want to be safe. You can take Cowboys defense. You're not going to go wrong with them.
Exactly.
I'm not a fan of drafting defenses until the end of a draft, but for those of you that don't know what to do and you're confused, you don't know these players' names, you don't even know who you're drafting at rounds 10, 11, you don't know who to take, you could take the Niners defense, the Dallas Cowboys defense, So, uh, random fact about the Cowboys: the kicker hit a 66-yard field goal in the preseason
Oh, in the
game.
preseason, I
Oh,
watched
that's
it.
that
Yeah.
soccer dude, huh?
The soccer dude, he's
Oh,
hey
yeah.
bro,
I
Aubrey.
might have to hit him.
Oh,
I might
I
hit him
might,
7th round.
I might have to
Tight shit,
swoop
bro.
on him. Yeah.
Tight shit.
Bro, they said it would have been good for 70 yards or something like that, or 72 yards or something. It's crazy.
That's
He's
crazy,
Yeah,
bro.
that's
Imagine
he,
you at the 50-something yard. Oh, yeah, kick it, bro.
yeah, bro, go for it, bro. Get out there, put that leg to use, put that leg to work.
Honestly, if you're round 9 or 10, you really don't know who to go with. I think he'd be solid
Hey.
because the coach trusts him, man.
Man, you got a player
Oh.
that's taken 60-yard field goals, man. Imagine you get 3 of those in a game. That basically is better than your probably like your flex and wide receiver and like your RB2. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Easily.
So Aubrey, look for him. Brandon Aubrey, Bailey Aubrey,
Yeah.
Brandon
something like
Aubrey.
that. Brandon Aubrey. Okay. Well, look for him. He's out there. He's good.
I
That
think it's a
about
guaranteed
does it
double
for this.
digits, by the way.
What's that?
I think it's a guaranteed double digits, by the way.
Hey, bro. I'm gonna take him in all my drafts, 5th round. That'll do it for this episode. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in and watching. If you're watching on YouTube or wherever. Next episode will be NFC South. Till next time, we'll see you guys.
Sir.